In this problem, we need to look at each of the choices A, B, C, and D and figure out which one has the largest absolute value. In order to do this, we're just going to find the absolute value of each of these four choices and see which one's the biggest. So let's start with A. We need to take the absolute value of negative 2 times the absolute value of 2 plus 3. Let's work from the inside out to figure out what this is equal to. So 2 plus 3 is 5. So what we have here is the absolute value of negative 2 times the absolute value of 5. Well, the absolute value of 5 is just 5, so what we really have is the absolute value of negative 2 times 5. Well, that's just the absolute value of negative 10, because negative 2 times 5 is negative 10, and the absolute value of negative 10 is 10. Okay, so that's A. Let's move on to B. Now we need to figure out the absolute value of 2 times the absolute value of 2 minus 3. Well, that is equal to the absolute value of 2 times something. The absolute value of 2 minus 3 is negative 1. So what this is equal to is 2 times the absolute value of negative 1. The absolute value of negative 1 is just 1. And so this is the absolute value of 2 times 1, which is 2. Which is the absolute value of 2, sorry, which is 2. Now pause the video and give C and D a try. When you're done, start the video again and watch it to check your work. Okay, now that you've had a chance to give this some thought, let's move on to part C. So in part C, we need to figure out the absolute value of 2 times the absolute value of 1 minus 1. Well, the absolute value of 1 minus 1 is the absolute value of 0, because 1 minus 1 is 0. So what we need to figure out is the absolute value of 2 times 0. 2 times the absolute value of 0. Excuse me. So what is the absolute value of 0? Well, in order to just see what it is, we're going to draw a number line. Here's our number line going forever in both directions. And here is 0. If we want to get from 0 to itself, we don't have to go anywhere. We just stay exactly where we are. It takes no steps to get from 0 to 0, and so the distance of 0 from itself is 0, and so the absolute value of 0 is 0. So this is really 0. So what we have is the absolute value of 2 times 0. Well, 2 times 0 is 0, and so we have the absolute value of 0, which is 0. Finally, we're going to work on part D. So in part D, we have to find the absolute value of the absolute value of negative 5 plus 8. Like always, we're going to work from the inside out. Actually, let me rewrite that in red. Okay. So first of all, negative 5 plus 8 is equal to 3. And so what we really have to find is the absolute value of 3. Well, the absolute value of 3 is just 3. So we have the absolute value of 3 left over. And again, the absolute value of 3 is just 3. And so what we figured out is that our answers to parts A, B, C, and D are 10, 2, 0, and 3. And the biggest of these is 10. And so our answer is A.